Yo, people, welcome to the second devlog of my game, Firefight, that I'm making for the Oculus Gear VR, for the Oculus Go, and I guess for the Google Cardboard, if that's possible as well. But yeah, it's been a while since been a bit busy. Actually been facing a little bit of burnout from working so long on the project, not making as much progress as I'd like. So what I thought I'd do is just, have a little break. Let me just participate in the community game jam, the one that's hosted by a couple of YouTubers like Brackies, Jabril's, Blackthorn Prod, Siku, them man. Yeah, it's quite fun. So the theme was Game is a Liar. I came up with the first kind of 2D platform game that I've ever worked on. And I worked on with one of my friends from school, so it's quite a lot of fun doing that. And yeah, I'll leave a link for that in the description. And I also spent some time just making a tutorial on how to make an animated speech bubble. So I'll leave a link for that in the description as well. So after the game jam, I came back and actually felt kind of, rejuvenated and motivated again. So I was like, you know what, let's just crack on with it. As some of the scripts were getting a bit big and a bit daunting to work with, I thought it would be a good time to refactor the code. And one of the most complicated scripts I had was my enemy controller, as I had it controlling the enemy audio, the enemy movement and animation and attacking all in one script, so it was getting a bit messy. So what I did was actually separate them into separate classes. So I have like enemy audio, enemy animation and movement, and then the enemy attacking. And then I made a state machine for the enemy behavior, so I could have better control of what the enemy was doing, and that seemed to make the code a lot more easy to work with and readable. And one thing that was pretty cool was that I kept noticing that there were a lot of references that were the same. So like player, ground, enemy, for my case, Molotov and things like that. So what I actually did was I actually made a public struct called tags manager, and then just made them public constant strings for each of these tags. So I no longer have to have, loads of these references all over the place. I can just type in tags manager dot player tag or tags manager dot hose tag. I find this is a much cleaner way to handle tags, as you actually just have them in one place, so they're not littered all over your code. And also, as it's a struct, it's always pointing back to the same place in memory, so I believe it's faster and more efficient for the computer. The next thing I did was actually work on some pickups for the game. So just work on the interaction, such as picking them up. So you sprayed them with your hose to pick them up. And I just made 3 basic types of pickup. So one to double your points, one for the foam grenade, so it enables you to pick up the foam grenade, and then one to repair the truck. I realized I was procrastinating a lot on the game and just spending a lot of time just working on these fine little details that people weren't necessarily picking up, because I didn't want to work on the bigger things such as the main menu, a shop system, a save system and all that. But after watching this video by Tim Ruswick, it really spoke to me, and I was just like, you know what, let me just crack on and actually start implementing the last bit, so I can actually get a playable game out to people and get it actually tested and whatnot. So what I did was I just worked in the main menu. So I've got a play button, a button for a tutorial, settings, and quit. I don't think I need quit, as there isn't really a quit application for the Gear VR. It's more like a home button, so I probably can rename that home or something like that. But yeah, I also spent some time working on a shop, so that you can increase the truck health, increase the water tank size, carry more grenades, increase the hose power and range, increase the width of the spray. And I've basically just laid out how I would like you to be able to upgrade your fire hose. I've also added a leaderboard section, but that isn't implemented yet, as I need to just implement the Oculus leaderboards. So I've still got to do that. This isn't by any means the final design for the menu. Quite happy with the progress. I just need to place things a bit more in a more final place and actually work on the lighting and things like that, because I haven't really worked on any lighting or anything like that in the scene so far. So the next biggest thing that I was somewhat putting off was a tutorial, because I didn't want to have to do like your normal tutorial as I've done before, which is like a text-based tutorial where you just kind of show the controllers on the screen. So I initially was going to make like a walkthrough level where it just kind of just shows them how to play the game, but I thought I could also achieve the same thing with kind of a mixture of the two, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So the tutorial teaches the player how to play with both text and also by being interactive and actually providing you with fires to put out and enemies to kill or Molotovs to spray away, just so that you learn the basics of how to play the game so that you can actually play and survive. But I'm quite happy with it at the moment. The basics of it are finished. I just need to finalize the text and obviously make it more like bullet points and less like paragraphs, because nobody wants to read paragraphs. And I also need to make some images for the tutorial, such as, you know, how to swipe correctly in the right direction, and I need to make a set for the Gear VR controller, possibly the Oculus Go controller, and then for obviously the Gear VR headset. Really happy with how it's coming along. The next thing I needed to work on was a way to save all this data from the shop, and as the play button will be disabled until you complete the tutorial, I need a way to obviously keep track of that. So I started working on a way to save the data. Because what I did was I actually started by making a player data class. Right now it's on the game manager, and I don't know why I did that. I'll probably move it to the player. Yeah, right now it's just on the game manager. It doesn't really matter. It's just reading from the save data. But yeah, it's probably better on the player or something, or maybe a separate object for player data. But anyway, so I've got the player data, and I'll basically show you what that is. So the player data class is quite simple. You just got the money, levels available, health limit, water tank, you know, all the good stuff. Has done tutorial, so we can keep track whether it's done the tutorial. We just have it as a public class, but has a public static instance of itself with a little private public getter, private setter. And do you know what I mean? We've got a little cheeky singleton going on, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And basically, I don't know why I don't need this anymore. Originally these were private, but so there's no need for this to return monies when you can just use dot monies. But anyway, so what this does, in start, it loads the player from the save data. So it opens a new save data, which is just save, and then you just load the save data, and then if the save data is not null, it just assigns these variables to the save data. If not, no data, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the save data is a simple class as well. It's just serializable so that the data can be saved, and that's just, once again, levels available, money, health limit, the exact same variables as what the player data has, but apart from, it has a constructor, so that every time you call the save data, it's going to populate these with the player data. For my save manager, we literally are using the binary formatter. You can actually follow along to a Brachy's tutorial, as I believe this is where I got this from originally. But so you just save the player data, it just creates a new save data, and when you call new save data, it's going to call this constructor and populate these, and then you can just save that data. And then for load data, you're finding the save data in this path, which is application.persistent path, and then you can pass in the end of your path name and then your format you would like to save it in. Obviously I chose .gang. So then yeah, it just loads the save data. Loads the save data if it's there. If it's there, it loads the save data. And if not, no file found, you get me? So, and then for the shop, I made sure that it reads the data from the player data after it's been set in start. And then now, whenever you purchase one of these buttons, if you've got enough money, it will actually inform the player data, and then we will save that player data. So it's pretty cool, it all works, and I'm relatively happy with it. I was thinking about, should I work on a way of encrypting the data? I'm not too sure if I need to do that as of yet. Obviously I'll work on that in the future, possibly. But yeah, so I'm really quite happy with the progress I've made. There's still a lot I need to work on, so I just need to polish off the tutorial, polish off the level, and then actually make a final edit of the level. And yeah, then I'm pretty much ready for it to be play tested. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Hope you found it somewhat interesting. Yeah, thanks guys. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Come on. But yeah, see you guys next time.